Alright, hello everyone. A new video. Post Coinbase listing. What is the market looking like now and what am I expecting over the next few weeks? Just getting into this. Anything I say in this video or on Twitter, you really shouldn't take that as financial advice, okay? If you're going to listen to me and my views and look at my strategy or whatever, just make your own decisions. You know, I could be entering these trades and then taking profit along the way and you don't know about it. So if I'm telling you that I think something is bullish, just be careful. If you're going to enter it, be careful. Enter on your own terms, exit on your own terms. Now, to get into my views, this whole market looks fucking insane. If we just look at, I'm going to go down this list, probably go down like 8 or 9 different pairs. And we look on the hourly or 4-hourly chart. And then you look at the Bitcoin pairings as well. There is still so much room to go. Now, if there's that much room to go, imagine you are someone. Imagine you are someone in the 9-figure range, right? Do you really think that you're going to be leaving these markets alone here? Where we are? There's literally no sign of distribution anywhere on any chart at all. I can't find it. So, that being said, let's get into the video. Not really a tutorial or anything. I'm just going to go through the main charts that I'm looking at. So, RSR. This is one that I unfortunately missed out on. I just noticed a few hours ago that this thing looks crazy bullish. I think we could easily head up into 18 cents. Okay, so I'm looking at RSR over the next few days, looking for a double confirmation, either of this previous resistance turn support or a retest of this trend line here. So I'm not just going to be setting limits, I'm going to be looking for the double confirmation pattern, which is just a head and shoulders. If you don't know what the pattern is, go and look at one of the other YouTube videos. So Luna. Another one that looks absolutely insane. We have this trend line here. Look how many taps we have. Okay. And now, normally, I wouldn't suggest using a trend line on its own. But with the easy in, easy out strategy, you can use trend lines. All right. So we have this many tests and we start to break out here. And then as we break out, we form multiple double confirmations. A double confirmation being one broken base, an expansion, and then the second broken base inside of the first. Basically, just signifying that the market is accumulating, that demand is building in a bullish example, okay, and that we are ready for a move up, which is exactly what we're seeing here. So we have a bunch of equal lows right here that are all swept by this high. We break above this high, and then we come down a few more equal lows right here. We sweep below and we break right above. My entry is right around around 1540-ish. Okay. So this one looks insane. If we're going to break out of this massive trend line, obviously, where's the target? We got to look for equal highs. Okay, liquidity in the opposite direction. If we accumulate, okay, people are accumulating orders, people are accumulating this coin, then we should look for liquidity on the other side of the market. So equal highs or key swing highs, which is what we're seeing right here. So if we can reach into 1950 around or $20, then I'll look to take my position off. Okay. Okay, so that's Luna. Looking crazy, crazy bullish. Link. Called inside the easy in, easy out group chat. Okay, I show proof of that on Twitter. Right at the bottom here, I'm not closing this position. I'm holding it. If we take a look at the Link Bitcoin pair, you can see there is just an insane amount of potential still left on this one. Okay, and now the same thing. So we have lows here, equal lows, taken out. Okay, resistance, resistance, turn support, but it's also a broken base, being the key swing high that swept the previous lows. we return to that, and then we continue to accumulate. Right here. Sweeping that low and breaking above the key swing high. That was responsible for sweeping the low. And then what do you know? We see the exact same pattern here again. So what is this? Accumulation. Until we see this exact same patterns forming and playing out in the opposite direction after taking liquidity to the upside, you can assume that this is bullish, and you can assume that people with large amounts of money will be accumulating it. Okay, so to see any kind of distribution, we would need to take some upside liquidity, being this high, okay, or this high here. So at least until this high or this high, I'll be holding this position. Easy. Lena, I've just entered this one. A little bit shaky, but it's still the exact same process, okay? So we break resistance here, shooting up massively. Then we come back down, sweep all of these equal lows, and break above the key swing high that swept the lows. We then return, okay, and form the exact same pattern again. And again here on the lower time frames, and right here is my entry. Now I may get stopped out on this, I may have to re-enter, but that's perfectly fine. So first target being this high. If we don't distribute there, then I'll just be holding my position all the way up into 20 cents. And then I'll reevaluate. Again, if we're seeing the accumulation down here on the buy side, we need to see, before exiting or before assuming that the trend is going to change, we need to see the exact same pattern, but on the sell side. So for now, while I'm seeing the accumulation on the buy side, it's time to accumulate. Wi-Fi. Similar thing here. We've just broken out of this support, this resistance. So it is a little bit iffy, okay? But either way, I'm still holding my position. I entered a little scalp earlier, but it's the same thing. Notice the exact same pattern repeating inside of itself, taking equal lows here, forming the pattern again, and then shooting up. Ray. Okay, the exact same thing here. We're breaking out of trend lines, forming double confirmations. So we have a low, the high that swept the low, we break. The low, the high that swept the low, we break. And again here, and then again here, and right there is my entry. CRV. Another one, this looks insane. Okay, so we have the same pattern here, sweeping equal lows, breaking above, sweeping equal lows, breaking above. Now, the Bitcoin pair is particularly interesting. So if we take a look at the 4-hour chart, you can see that we are forming accumulation on the daily that looks obvious. Equal lows, break above the high that swept the lows. Equal lows, break above the high that swept the lows. And then yesterday, around the time of the Coinbase listing, we actually saw more manipulation, which I think is the very start of the bull trend. And I was fortunate enough to catch my entry. Okay, around here on the breakout. SRM. I know I'm just repeating myself, but I think the point that I'm trying to get across is that this whole market is so fucking bullish, and everything is printing the same patterns. Everything is accumulating, and until it starts to distribute the same way that it's just accumulated, you should assume that it's going to keep going up. Okay, I know it seems too good to be true, but just imagine, put yourself in the mind of someone with hundreds of millions of dollars, or the minds of people with that much money. They see a market with this much potential that now we are just seeing all the avenues needed for institutions to get involved as well. There is no reason to be bullish yet, okay? We may see some blow off top, but for now, like I've said, the chart is saying buy, so that's what we should do. Atom, the same thing, breaking out of this massive trend line here. And then accumulating. So we break out of the trend line. What you don't want to see is a return back below the trend line and distribution. But what you do want to see is manipulation as we retest, which is exactly what we got. Equal lows here, we break above. Now, moving forward, I would like to see a retest of this high right here. That would be healthy. If we do see a retest and form the same pattern again on the lower time frames, something like this, then I'll look to enter. Or even something like this, then I will look to enter again. Okay, so just being patient, trying to practice risk management, but at the same time, it is not every day that you see massive market cycles like this. So although you obviously need to protect your money, protect your portfolio, it's really important that you're taking the full advantage of all the opportunities that we're seeing right now. Now, I'm not saying to follow me. You don't know how I'm handling my money. You don't know how much I'm risking. You don't know how much I'm trading. You don't know when I'm going to exit, or if I do really enter or exit. So just do your own thing, but just keep it in mind what I'm saying. Sol, the same thing here. We caught an entry in the easy and easy out chat around 24.50 yesterday, around the time of the Coinbase listing, moving below equal lows into a double confirmation. Okay, you can see the pattern just there. Sorry, that's meant to be there. BNB sweeping below these lows. On the lower time frames, it does look like we could move down here. If we do move down, I would like to see a retest of some bullish levels. So if you go and, sorry about that. If you go and look at watch the previous video that I explained, where I explained how to trade trends, I talk about in a bullish environment, we should retest previous levels of accumulation, being bullish broken bases, and then reaccumulate at those levels. If the reaccumulation, the previous legs of reaccumulation, like this bullish broken base, start to fail and we start to distribute after these levels fail, then we can assume that whoever was accumulating at these levels is starting to let go of their positions. So for now, I'm seeing a lower time frame retrace. I would like to get an entry around 500. If I see that, then that's good. However, I am in a scalp in here with my stop below just that low. So if I get stopped, that's fine. I'll look for entries lower. If we break above this high here, then we should be safe to head towards 800. Okay. I'm not going to look at the majors here. All right, that's not my focus. I think we should see a lot of consolidation in Bitcoin, maybe a little bit in Ethereum as well, as these alts start to take off. A lot of the profits from Bitcoin and Ethereum and those majors will be heading into the altcoins, so keep an eye out for that. Like I said, no reason to short. Practice risk management. Enter at the accumulation. Just be patient. Just because we're moving up now doesn't mean we won't retrace. So, although you're feeling euphoric at the moment, remember this feeling when price starts to retrace and try to stay logical. All right, that's it. Thank you. Bye.